Hey folks, Dale Davidson here, Davidson Law Offices in Southwest Georgia. Glad you're here today in our channel. Got some news for you today. Going to do some legislative updates. Of course, I'm not a real big political guy. I think they need to be doing more for veterans and quit their moaning and complaining up there, but hey, that's just me. Recall a couple of weeks ago I did a video on the burn pit and military toxic exposures and that legislation. Okay, well, the problem is now the people in Washington, the clowns, I mean politicians, I'm not sure what they call. Let's call them clowns for today because that's what I feel like. So they're now fighting over how do they account for the money spent in this bill. Now, we're talking about accounting methods. So if you're an accountant, you have cash or accrual, you have cost accounting, you have different kinds of accountings. Today we're talking about political accounting, which makes no sense. Okay. So what we've got here is the Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxic Act, also known as the PACT, P-A-C-T Act. Okay. Now this is supposed to be brought up for a vote today. And if 60 of these clowns up there in Washington will vote yes, then maybe the president might sign it later this week or early next week. We're keeping our fingers crossed. But according to some of these clowns, I mean politicians, they're upset because of an unrelated 400 billion, that's right, billion with a B, spending spree. Now, I'm not sure, so if this bill was supposed to be for the health and well-being of the veterans, why do we have some unrelated spending bill in there? I don't know. Why? Well, that's how they work in Washington. So again, if the goal is to expend money for health care on burn pit victims and toxic exposure victims, how does this unrelated spending spree relate to that goal? Don't know. So, dear clowns, from me to you, quit using our veterans to address the problems, to address your problems, okay? And quit sneaking things into these bills that are completely unrelated. Okay, enough about the burn pit and toxic exposure legislation. So there's about 18 other bills that are out there that I want to kind of go over. This first one is the Faster Payments of Veterans Act, okay, which is basically a bill that says, hey, we want the Veterans Administration to pay benefits faster. Why do you have to have legislation to tell somebody to do their job faster? Why don't they just do their job? Simple, okay? But no, we got to have another bill that says, hey, dear VA, this is what we want you to do. We want you to take your 2-year time frame down to 1 year for certain things, take your 4-year down to about 2 years for other things, but we want you to pay these benefits out quicker. Well, do your job in the first place, and I think these benefits would flow out pretty quick. So you have the Veterans Compensation Cost of Living Adjustment Act, okay? So if you're getting benefits, we'll give you a cost of living increase, strengthen the VA for cybersecurity. Of course, we've got all these crazy people out there that try and hack into your computer system. Restore Veterans Dignity Act, Voice Act, the Relieved Act, Return Home to Housing. Now, this one is in home and community-based services for veterans and caregivers. This is something kind of near and dear to my heart. Why do we have any kind of homeless people in this country? Especially, why do we have homeless veterans in this country? These people served our country. They were out there keeping us free, okay? They were sacrificing being away from their families, okay? Then they come back, they have some issues, and so now they're homeless. So this is a bill to help that. Then we have the VA Cost Savings Act, Student Veterans Emergency Relief Act, Emergency Relief of Service Members Act, all these different bills. It's just more and more legislation to pile on. Again, VA, just do your job, okay? I don't think we need more bills to tell the VA how to do their job. What we need is more bills to strengthen the services and the health care and everything that goes into protecting our veterans and making sure that they're taken care of, because when they went into the service, they were promised that the government would look after them. Okay, now that they're out of service, they may have been injured, okay, during service or resulting injury afterwards, and now they're having difficulty getting disability compensation or VA pension or whatever benefit that they're due based upon what happened to them in the military. So this is just a little bit of synopsis of what's going out there as far as the Washington politics. Of course, Washington politics are messy and not pleasant, but we're continuing to advocate for our veterans and advocate for our spouses of veterans, because again, they sacrificed in the military, and you spouses, you sacrifice by not having your spouse with you at home to help raise families. Folks, if you like what we got going on here, if we're giving you some really good information, sparking some questions, like and subscribe, shoot us some comments, shoot us some questions at dearvaguy@gmail.com, dearvaguy@gmail.com. Be glad to answer whatever questions you have. So until next time, be blessed.
No more whiskey, I'll have a Coke. Catching bass on an old fishing boat. One more story from Grandpa Joe.